Resting the hands maybe upon the knees, first finger and thumb together. Rotate the shoulders back and down. So we'll take a few deep breaths as we draw the shoulders up, breathing in and breathing out. Just take a few sighs from the mouth. Allow that stress from the week that you've been holding, from anything you've been doing, just let it go. Let it drop from the jaw. Nice deep breath in. Shoulders to ears and let go. One more time. Bring the shoulders up and release. Lovely. Just allow a gentle smile to appear on the face now as we become aware of the body. So just taking a brief body scan from the top of the head down to the toes, making sure you maintain a slight lift in the spine, turn that pubic bone down and the chin just roughly tucked in so that there's no stress in the neck. And just breathe. Allow a wave of awareness to move down the body part by part, noticing how the body's feeling today without judgment, without expectation. Any areas of stiffness or tightness, breathe into that space with a few nourishing, compassionate breaths. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, imagine that tension beginning to dissipate like a cloud, evaporating around you. And then bringing our awareness to our breath. Notice where in the body you feel the breath most predominantly, maybe in the belly, maybe in the chest or the nostrils. There's no right or wrong here, just noticing with awareness. If you wish to, placing right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. Notice the journey of the breath now, so it may help you to visualize breathing in an ocean of air around you. So imagine an expansive ocean. Breathe in through the nostrils, down a waterfall in your throat towards a vast lake in your belly. So fill up that lake as you breathe in, feel the belly rising. As you breathe out, noticing the breath dissipating, moving, lake in your belly, waterfall in your throat, and back out to that ocean of air. It's a gentle expansion of breaths now. And then tilting the head ever so slightly to the left. Imagining thoughts of the mind, so just becoming aware of these thoughts. Whatever's going on in the head, try not to push it away. Welcome and accept the busyness of the mind today. If it's busy or not, just notice whatever's going on in the mind. And then we're going to allow these thoughts to pour down into our heart space. So we're letting go of our thinking mind and allowing our heart space to lead our practice today. So let these thoughts go, and if there's any troubles, any burdens, just place them down, imagining like you're letting go of them one by one, like you're emptying a heavy rucksack. So place those boulders down, and then just knowing that the heart space can take that. It's like an elastic, the heart, just knowing that it has an abundance of space and loving energy to hold these concerns. And maybe just imagining you're dropping down a little seed of positivity now. So a seed of intention. It may be a word like happiness, peace, healing, love. It might be a colour or a sensation. Just drop it down now. Lovely. Leave that seed there and bring the head back to center. When you're ready, we're going to bring the palms of the hands together, rubbing the palms And place the hands over the closed eyes, shoulders down. Opening your eyes in darkness when you're ready. And allow the hands just to melt away from the face, like warm candle wax, opening your eyes. Lovely, guys. Just changing the cross of the legs. We'll come into alternate nostril breathing today. So keeping the left hand where it is, maybe just bringing the right hand, your middle finger, your pointer finger between the third eye, between the eyebrows. And we're going to use our thumb and ring finger to alternate blocking the nostrils. So placing the thumb over the right nostril, we'll just take a few breaths through the left nostril. On your next inhalation, breathe in for the count of 4. So a short, comfortable breath, and hold the breath. Release the right nostril, breathe out completely. In through the right for 4, and hold the breath now for 8. Release through the left nostril completely. In through the left for 4 and hold for 8. Out through the right completely. In through the right for 4 and hold for 8. Out through the left for 8. In through the left for 4 and hold for 8. Breathe out through the right for 8. In through the right for 4 and hold for 8. Out through the left for 8. Final round, in through the left for 4 and hold for 8. Out through the right for 8. In through the right for 4 and hold, final retention. And release the right hand. Just come back to a natural breath. Wonderful, guys. Just moving through the head and neck now. So turning the head over to the right shoulder. Keep the heart space open. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out now, rotate the neck all the way down the chin, moving in a semicircle towards the opposite shoulder. Take a nice deep breath in here. As you breathe, making that semicircle with the chin round to the opposite shoulder. When you arrive, take a nice deep breath in. This time as you breathe out, looking across the horizon, imagine you're looking out to a vast ocean, scanning the horizon for boats at sea. Moving slowly and mindfully, nothing else you need to do, nowhere else you need to be in this moment. Breathe in as you arrive, breathe out to move the head back to a neutral position. Deep breath in here. When you're ready now, looking up, drop the jaw. And then on your next breath, back of the neck nice and long, chin towards the chest. Bring the head back to center when you're ready. Just tilt the head ever so slightly to the right shoulder. You can bring the right hand towards that opposite temple. Bring the other hand down to your side or the back of the hand towards the opposite hip or thigh. Breathe in light and space towards the neck and throat, that channel between the heart and the head. Do the same on the other side. Release the way you came. Mindfully moving the head to whatever you did on the other side. Make sure your chin's lightly tucked in towards the chest and not straining. There should be no discomfort in the neck here. If there is, just bring the hands back to your side. Wonderful, guys. When you're ready, we're going to release the block away, moving on to our backs. So release now through the whole body. Take the weight of the body down. Take your arms overhead. Feel the length through the whole body. Take a nice big yawn if you need to. Rotate those wrists and ankles slowly and mindfully, drawing circles with the wrists and ankles. Keep a softness in the shoulders and in the elbows. Moving one direction then the other. And then we're just going to banana the body to one side. So shuffle the feet over to the left and the upper body as well over to the left. Keep the hips down. Try and keep that right hip down. If there's any tension through the shoulders, just release the grip of the hands, just draping the body. If you want to increase the stretch, you can take the right ankle over left. We'll do the same on the other side, shuffling the feet over to the opposite corner now. Arms draping overhead, keeping that left hip down. Breathing there. Nice deep inhalations and exhalations, releasing any tension through the side ribs, side lungs, the waist. And then come back to center. Breathe in to lengthen and stretch. As you breathe out now, we're going to flex the feet and draw the arms slowly and mindfully down towards your sides, as though you're pushing the breath out with a bit of resistance. So move slowly and steadily. Breathe in, point the toes. Slowly draw the arms overhead, like you're filling up your body like a vessel of new energy. As you breathe out, flex the feet as you draw and push out the old energy with the hands, pushing the air out. One more time, nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, flexing and pushing out any stagnant energy. Lovely, guys. Bending the knees, drawing the feet down. We're going to move through the hips now. So imagine your hips like a warm bowl of water, keeping the knees in line with your hips and your heels in line with your bottom, with your heels tucked right in. We're just swishing through the hips. So imagine this bowl of water. Imagine your hips to be like a warm bowl of water, just swishing forwards and backwards, placing your arms down. Make the back of the neck long so your chin is comfortably tucked in slightly. Relax the neck, relax the shoulders. And then we're just going to build up a bit of momentum through the hips now. If you feel your knees are going to fall out to the side or collapse in, then you can always place a block between the knees. This isn't necessary. Just going to build up a bit of momentum with every breath, lifting the hips away from the ground now, and then lowering down, releasing back down. Coming up a couple more vertebrae with every breath. Lifting, lengthening through the spine. Keep every other part of your body relaxed, your hands, your feet. Just isolating this area of the hips, the sacrum, the spine. Peeling the spine up a little further each and every time. And then lowering down. We're going to get the arms involved now. So as you breathe in this time, I'm going to take the arms and float them up and overhead like you're a puppeteer, lifting your hips up. As the arms come over, tuck your chin in. And as you breathe out, lowering the hips, lowering the arms simultaneously. And then relax completely. We'll do the same again, gently flowing with the breath, lifting the hips up, draw the arms overhead. And all the way back down. This time as the hips come up, we're going to leave the arms down. You can tuck these shoulders under a little further so that you're reaching towards your ankles, pressing the palms down, or if it's available to you, interlock the fingers as though you're squeezing an imaginary lemon. Try not to move your neck or head to see what's going on. Just trust the body, raise those hips up, chin towards the chest, look towards the rising and falling of the belly, squeeze that imaginary lemon and just breathe. When you're ready, release the hands, release the spine, vertebra by vertebra. As you draw the knees in towards the chest, hug the knees. Maybe grab hold of opposite wrists. Relax the shoulders, just breathe there. Nice deep inhalation and exhalation. In through the nose, sighing out through the mouth. Taking the hands to the knees, we're just going to rock the knees from side to side now. Keep the hands on the knees, we're going to draw circles, so keep the hips down, just circling the knees in the same direction as one another, massaging out through the sacral area, the lower back and the glutes, changing the direction of the circles when you're ready. Now knees in a butterfly position in opposite directions, the toes together, big toes, and drawing circles with the knees. Well done, guys. Keep breathing. Lovely. Really begin to soften, change directions of the knees when you're ready. And then we're going to come into happy baby. So take the arms overhead to begin with, keep the knees wide, then drawing the elbows towards the instep of the knees. You can grab hold of the shins, flex the feet, maybe the outer edges of the feet, or wrapping the first two fingers around the big toe, making the back of the neck nice and long, and try and draw down as much of your spine down towards the ground. Your feet are flexed, knees bent, and just breathe. Take a few nice deep breaths in through the nose, sighing out through the mouth, releasing that emotional tension from the hips. Breathe in, maybe saying to yourself, I surrender. Breathe out through the mouth, say to yourself, I release. Breathing in to surrender and out to release. Lovely, guys. Draw the soles of the feet together. We're going to now wrap the first finger and middle finger around the big toes if you haven't already done so, or you can keep the hands towards the shins. We're going to take just the right leg out to the side, so straightening out that right leg. Keep a slight bend in the knee if you need to, and just breathe there. Bending that right knee, deep breath in to prepare. We'll do the same on the left side now, so taking your left leg out, slight bend in the knee if you need to, flexing that left foot. Doesn't matter where the hand's reaching, it doesn't matter if you breathe out through the mouth or nose, just release here. slowly bending that knee. We're going to do the same now with both legs. So if it feels like it's going to be too much, just come back into a happy baby. If not, taking a nice deep breath in and draw both legs out to the side. You can keep a bend in the knees if you need to. Keep the shoulders relaxed. When you're ready, slowly draw the feet back in, bend those knees. Draw the knees in towards one another, hugging the knees in towards the chest and rock from side to side. We're going to take the weight of the body over to the right side, resting there for a few moments. Pushing up through the hands. And we're going to bring ourselves, so coming to sit on the heels to begin with, and you can keep a rolled up blanket or cushion nearby. We're going to take the weight of the body over to the left hip. You can watch me to begin with this one if you haven't done this in a while with me. Bringing that left foot out forward so that the arch of that left foot is kind of tucking round the right knee. So you're creating, in effect, a triangle out in front of you. Now, if you feel like all your weight's going onto one side and you're making a real crooked S shape here, then you can take a block, or rolled up cushion is sometimes better, and take it under that lower hip so that you feel a bit more stability through the spine. Just do what feels good for you. This is called the seat stabilizer, this posture, so really good for any ailments in the hips and the lower back, but especially this hip and pelvic area. Resting the hands upon the knees, we're going to breathe in, opening through the heart space. Breathing out, we're going to roll through the spine. So like we do in our cat-cow posture, we're just moving forwards and backwards through the spine. Breathing in to come forward, breathing out. Curling through the spine as you breathe out. Breathing in, opening, and breathing out, curling down. Lovely. So from here, we're going to take the left hand and place it just behind that left hip. Take the right hand to the right hip, and we're just going to internally rotate that hip. So lift the glute up and back down. So you're lifting that hip up, and you're just imagining that internal rotation. So you might even just want to take that left or that right hand and just stroke forwards and backwards as you internally rotate that hip, lifting just the right glute up and back down. So that left side stays down. Lovely. And then if you wish to, imagine there's a pot of positive paint behind you, beautiful golden paint that's going to protect you, heal you, surround you with love. And I'd like you to take that right hand and just dip it in that pot of paint, and you're going to draw a circle all the way around you, from your toes, sweeping past your shins, all the way up, past your ear, into a bit of a mini back bend, just opening and lengthening. And then you're going to draw that hand back the way it came, like you're rewinding. And you're going to take the hip back down at the same time. So once again, breathing in, coming up. You can look towards the fingertips as the arm comes up. Opening, lengthening into a mini back bend. And then lowering back down. We'll do that one more time. Breathing in to come up. And breathing out to come down. Lovely, guys. We're going to bring the feet out in front of us. And just swoosh the knees from side to side. Lovely. When the knees next come over to the right side, we're going to do the same here. So tuck the back foot back, keeping that right knee bent, drawing that arch of the foot round the knee, and just placing both hands on the knees. If you have a blanket and you took it under one hip, just moving it over to the other. The right one, breathing in as you breathe out, curling through the spine. So this posture is fantastic for any issues in this lower back, sacral area of the hips. If there's any instability or discomfort around this area, This posture just helps to open and soften and stabilize. Lovely. When you're ready, bringing that right hand back now in line with the right hip, left hand to left hip, internal rotation now through that left hip. Dip that hand into an imaginary pot of healing paint, positive paint, drawing that golden circle of light, healing light, draw it round, past your ear, to any back bend, and then draw it back down. Deep breath in. As you breathe out, drawing your circle around your body, and back down. Wonderful, guys. And one more time. Lovely. Taking both feet back out in front of you, drawing the knees from one side to the other. We're going to come to lying on our bellies now into Sphinx posture. So there's a bit of a counter pose from all those hip stretches. Keep the feet wide, keep the elbows and shoulders soft. Elbows roughly in line with the shoulders or a little further forward. Spread the palms. If there's any pinching in the lower back, take the hands and elbows further away from the body and out to the sides, and possibly making a triangle with the hands. If not, just spreading the palms, place the weight down into the forearms, drop the shoulders down away from the ears, and just breathe. Smiling to yourself, drawing in the new energy that surrounds you, drawing the energy of the day, creating space in your heart, nourishing and replenishing that lower area of the sacrum as it softens and releases. The area of the lower back, the tummy muscles, the hips and pelvis. Maybe saying to yourself, I soften, I surrender. And then we're going to draw the head down, make a triangle with the hands, rest the head, just dropping to one side. Maybe wriggling the hips a little bit just to soften through the lower back. Turning the head over to the other side, to even out through the neck. And then this time we're going to alternate leg and arm raises, so moving into the spine. So dropping the chin down, we're going to take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, raising left leg and right arm out in front of you. Nice deep breath in. And breathe out to lower. Deep breath in to prepare. Breathing out to raise. And lower. Deep breath in to prepare. Opposite arm, opposite leg. And lower. And one more time. Wonderful, guys. We'll come into our cobra waves now. So imagining you're on your paddleboard, surfboard, whatever you want to imagine. Take the arms out, pads of the fingers down, drop the elbows, drop the jaw. Imagine you're coming up and over a few baby waves. Push through the fingertips. The backs of the feet might come up as well, and then lower down. Deep breath in. Up and over the waves, deep breath out. So imagine that rippling effect through the spine like a wave of motion. Cobra waving up and down over these baby waves. No stress or strain. Building up a bit of momentum as the waves get a bit bigger. You're going to take the hands a little bit wider, a little bit closer in towards you. Really bend those elbows so the elbows are sticking up. Drop the forehead down. Push through the pads of the fingers. Come up a little bit further. through the spine. Only come up as far as is comfortable. Be really mindful of the back. If there's any issues with the back or spine, just take it down a notch. Breathing light in space. Lovely. We're going to imagine a nice big wave coming up as you bring the hands right in towards the breastbone. Bring the feet in towards one another a little bit more. Tuck those elbows in. Use your core strength as you push through the hands to lift the body up and over the wave into an up dog or cobra. Drop the knees. We're going to bring the weight back into a child's pose. You can bring big toes together, knees wide. Soften the body between the thighs and just making a triangle with the hands. Forehead down and just breathe. Couple more deep breaths here. Just move the forehead from one side to the other, just releasing through the head and neck, and then come onto all fours. Knees roughly in line with the hips. With the hands, if there's any issues with the wrists, just making fists with the wrists or come down onto your forearms. When you're ready, rotate the shoulders away from the ears, inhaling. As you exhale, tucking the hips under, draw the chin towards the chest. Soften the elbows, soften the shoulders as you breathe in. Breathing out. We're going to draw circles now in a clockwise position. Keep breathing, breathing in, breathing out. Half circle. Changing direction of the circles. And then we'll tuck the toes under into a downward dog. So draw the weight up and back. And just play around with the weight of the body from side to side. We're going to bend one knee then the other. Softening through the backs of the legs, through the calves. And then walking the feet towards the hands. Keep the knees slightly bent, feet hip distance apart. Allow the body to rest over the thighs as you bend the knees. Really bend the knees now. Grab hold of opposite elbows if you wish to. Drop the head here. Nice deep breaths. Release the hands when you're ready. Bring the feet a little closer in towards one another. Bring the hands to shins, nice flat back. And as you breathe out, bring the hands towards the back of the leg, draw the nose towards the knees. Soften the elbows, soften the knees. And then we're going to ragdoll our way back up, so bring the feet hip distance apart once again, bend those knees and draw the spine up, vertebra by vertebra. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Coming into Tadasana, grabbing hold of any refreshments you might need. If you need a glass of water, free to rehydrate yourself. And come to standing in Tadasana, feet hip distance apart, rotate the shoulders back and down, arms resting down towards your sides, back of the neck long, just breathing here. Close your eyes, spread your toes, spread the feet, find your center. Just become aware of any sounds around you, welcome them in. And then draw the attention inward towards the body. Imagine those roots going down through the soles of the feet, connecting you towards a rock in the core of the earth. Saying to yourself maybe, I am stable, I am secure, I belong. I am stable, I am secure, I belong. Play around with the weight here, just taking the weight over to one side. back to the heels, over to the other side, and back to your center. Wonderful, guys. When you're ready, we're going to take the arms up and over the head, drop the shoulders, and have a little stretch over to one side, our swaying cypress tree out here in Italy. Come back to center, deep breath in, and out over to the other side. Deep breath in, rotate the shoulders back and down, and over to the other side. Arms come down. Lovely. This time the palms come out in front of you. Bring the feet a little wider, heels in, hands to shoulders. And you draw the elbows up as you breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in to come up. Elbows coming up nice and tall, smiling to yourself as the shoulders soften. Breathing in and breathing out. Wonderful, guys. We'll do this in the same direction, in the opposite direction. Sorry, bending the knees, elbows come behind you, and breathing out. Breathing in to come up. Breathing out one more time. Lovely. Take the arms up, give them a little shake out to the sides. If you have a belt nearby, strap, whatever equivalent of this, maybe a bathrobe, just take your time. Feel free to grab something. If you don't worry. You can just imagine that it's there. Feet a little wider, heels a little further in. We're going to bend those knees. So try not to come too far down in the knees. We don't want to cause any strain in the knees or hips. We're going to stay nice and stable as the arms come up. And breathing out to come down. Lovely. Breathing in to come up. Imagine you're top of the mountain, top of a beautiful view, beautiful vista, looking out to the lovely hills behind me. Breathing in to come up. Breathe it in, lighten space, new energy of the day ahead. Breathe it out. Lovely. Nice deep breath in. This time, if you want to, you can come up onto the tiptoes. Go for it. Give it a go. And then release. Well done, everyone. Nice one. This time, bend at the knees, arms out in front of you, twisting over from the upper body over to one side. So try and keep those hips facing forward like you're sat on a horse. And then lengthen the legs, take the arms in line with the shoulders over to the other side. Breathing there. Breathing in. One more time on either side. If you have your belt, you can turn the wrists in towards one another, create a bit more traction. Back to center and over to the other side. Lovely, guys. Keep smiling. Rotate the shoulders, give them a little shimmer and a shake. This time we're going to take the arms up, bend at the knees, just drop one arm behind you. So keeping this area of the core lightly engaged, so you're not just collapsing in the back as I'm kind of doing here. Tuck the hips under slightly to engage the core area. Come back up and do the same on the other side. We're going to draw a nice big circle now with the arms. So our arms roughly one arm's distance apart, about a meter apart, and then just begin to draw nice big circles. You can even move around the space. Keep that lovely flow going with your movements today. Take the head and look up and round. Shift the weight from the toes, one toe to the other, like you're dancing, swaying like a wonderful windmill, generating new energy, getting rid of the old, move in the opposite direction. Arms up and over. Lovely, guys. We're going to take one more stretch here. So folding the belts once, then twice. Take the belts into the right hand. Take the arm up, bend at the right elbow, and again, keep this area of the core lightly engaged so that you're not collapsing through the back. Keep that top elbow up and away from the ear. You're simply just going to take the opposite hand and just bend at that elbow to begin to reach towards the opposite end of the belt. Try not to collapse the chin in towards the chest and suddenly curve through the spine. Keep a nice heart open space going on, and maybe interlock the fingers if that's available to you, but try not to compromise the spine here. Just breathe. If you want to, you can imagine you're on an imaginary bar stool and you can cross one leg over the other, if that feels good for you. Find a spot to gaze at in front of you and just breathe. Lovely. Release the way you came. Shimmer and shake. Starfish yourself. Wriggle and shake the arms. Lovely. Shake the shoulders. Swap the hands over. Belt in the left hand. Up and back. And again, as you preempt this movement, you're going to begin to round the spine. Try and keep that spine long. One side is always more tricky than the other. This is definitely my more tricky side. So just be compassionate here. Go as far as you can, but not too far. And again, if you're on your imaginary bar stool, taking the opposite knee over and just breathe. Find a spot to gaze at in front of you. And then come back to center. Wonderful, guys. Move your belt away. Take the arms wide, take the feet wide, give yourselves a hug. So opposite hands, opposite shoulders, drop the head down. Drop the head, move the head and neck to one side, then the other. Making half circle. Looking back with the head and neck, looking forward. Take the arms wide, and again hugging yourself. Opposite side now, drop the shoulders, move the head and neck very slowly. If there's any tension in the head and neck, just keep the head still. Wonderful, guys. Bringing the hands, keep the feet wide, and we're going to take the heels out slightly as we come into a forward fold. So keeping the hands on the hips, make sure the heels, so it's as though the edge of your feet are in line with the edge of your mat. Okay. So we're going to keep this area of the thighs and the tummy lightly engaged to support your posture. Hands to hips, and we're going to forward fold from your heart space. So it's like your chest and your chin are leading this one. And you're just going to keep forward folding down. Only as far as is comfortable. Slight bend in the knees if you need to. And if it's available to you, you can rest the hands down in line with the face. Just drop the head down. Take the weight in towards the toes and just breathe. Seeing the world upside down can really help you just to let go of the mind, tipping the world on its head, putting things into perspective. Lovely, guys. We're going to come into a twist from here. So if you can reach the ground, we're going to take the left hand in line with the face and place it down. If that's not available to you and you have a block nearby, you can rest the hand on the block, left hand on the block, and we're going to take the right arm up towards the ceiling or sky. If that's too much, just rest the hand on the upper hip. And then lower down, we'll do the same on the other side. Do whatever you did on that side. Switch it over. And then come back to center. Lovely. I'd like you just to begin to shuffle the heels in now as we come into a squat. Now, if you have your block in front of you and you want to place that block behind you to sit on, then you can do so. This block isn't quite the right size. I'd usually use a block like this to sit on. Again, this is completely optional, and if squats are not good for you, if you just don't feel that that's good for you today, then just come to sitting. Place the heels in, place a bit of energy in the knees and the elbows, so pushing one in towards the other, bit of traction here. Lengthen through the spine in your Hindi squat. You can close the eyes if you wish to, or look towards the beautiful view in front of you. Just breathe there. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring our weight to sitting. So coming down, bring the soles of the feet together. We're going to come into a forward fold here. So again, if you have your block, a block like this is so handy, or firm cushion, whatever you can grab hold of. we're going to draw the weight forward. So it doesn't matter if the forehead doesn't reach this block, okay? If you've got a couple of blocks or you've got a nice big bolster or firm cushion, you can stack one on top of the other. But again, this is optional. The other option, as I'm doing here, is to just drape the arms, palms facing up, and draw the forehead down, not resting on anything. So do what feels good for you. And we're just going to rest here for a few minutes and make yourselves comfortable. The further your feet are away from the body, the less intense the posture. And just breathe. Take a few more deep breaths here. Slowly, slowly come up through the spine. And we're just going to give our feet a little massage now, just because we can. Well deserved at the end of our practice. Bit of self-massage, bit of self-care today. So just take your fingers and begin to press in towards the tops of the toes. Now I find reflexology so fascinating because it represents the body. So if you think the top of the toes are like the top of the head, so imagine you're releasing, just pressing the fingers in towards the big toes, all the way down. Second toes, just moving them one by one, squidging and pressing, releasing any tension. It's like you're releasing tension from the head, from the neck, any mind thought you're letting go of. Now the necks of the toes, so squidging your fingers round the neck of the big toes. This is like the neck of the body. So giving this area a little massage, one by one. You can do one foot at a time, but I tend to like to do both at a time. Do what feels good for you. And then this area, the pads of the feet, so the balls of the feet, just giving them a good old squish. Now this area represents the shoulders, so if there's any tension in your shoulders, you might feel a bit of tension here. This is tend to be what happens when you feel that aching, or kind of it just feels like a bit of a dull aching sensation in the feet as you press into it, and it's a bit of a satisfying sort of pain. Then that's it's like an aching sensation, then it's a good aching sensation. You can squidge around the joint there of that big toe. I always find this area really tends to represent my shoulders when we carry a lot of stress. So just squidge around these areas and take a few deep breaths. If there's any discomfort or any aching, just breathe into that sensation. Breathe in and imagine that tension from the shoulders just breathing out and releasing. So squidge all the way down towards the base of the bottom toes, and just almost like you're running your fingers on a keyboard of a piano. Just press the fingers in towards the base of the toes, one at a time. And then we're going to move into the arches of the feet. Now the arches of the feet represent the spine. And again, this area can be quite tender, so be mindful, move gently through this area. And again, if you're feeling quite depleted, this area can be quite nice and energizing. So squidging right in towards that ball of the foot can be really wonderful just to re-energize the body. This helps to clear toxins in the waist, in the liver, kidneys, this kind of representing the lower back as you come down the base of that arch. Fascinating, really. And you can do all of this with a roller ball or like a big marble. If you were to kind of sit down and just rub your feet one by one on each foot and just move that marble forwards and backwards, this can generate a bit of release. Lovely. So just rubbing through the soles of the feet, then to the base of the foot, so the heel squidging down. This is like your legs, squidging down, other foot. And just be quite mindful with the backs of the heels here. So this is the area of your sexual organs. So if during pregnancy, for instance, if you were to press quite hard on this area, this can induce the pregnancy. So this is fantastic when you're heavily pregnant. I remember my lovely sis doing this when baby wasn't coming out, and it did really help. But just be mindful here if you're sensitive in this area, or of course if you're going through pregnancy, just be very gentle with this area, not to induce any sudden labours. So just be mindful, okay? And then rubbing through the tops of the feet. So this represents the front of the body, just very gently stroking, rubbing the front of the feet, squidging the whole feet now. Wonderful. So a little self-massage is a wonderful thing to do on a daily basis with a bit of oil after a bath or whatever. And this time of year, coconut oil is fantastic to do here because it draws heat from the body. So if you've got a lot of heat in the body, if you're going through menstruation or menopause, or you're just overheated, then using that coconut oil can really help. So there you go, bit of foot love. So nice way to end the practice. We're just going to shake the hands out, and you can also do that whole process with your hands. So I'll leave that for you to do in your own time. Squidging down from the fingers to the base can represent moving through the body, all those wonderful pressure points. So when you're ready, just take the feet as wide as the mat. You're going to rock the knees from side to side. As we did before, just rolling the knees over to one side, drawing the opposite arm up and over the ear, making this into a bit of a flow now that we're nice and loose through the hips. It should feel quite effortless and fun. Just create that bit more movement. If you want to make this movement a bit playful, you can roll onto your bellies and then come back onto the other side, and then roll onto your belly again. Just have a little play around. There's no right or wrong. And then come back to centre. Well done, guys, trying something new. So we're going to make our way down. We're going to move through the spine vertebra by vertebra, and as we do, we're going to come into supported bridge. So taking a block, foam cushion, lifting the hips up now and placing that block in line with the hips. This is a wonderful posture to help cool down the body, keeping the heels in line with the hips. Place the palms down, or you can place the palms up, which I like to do as an act of surrender. The arms can rest down by your sides, or you can drape the arms overhead. Bend the elbows, soften through the head and neck, and just breathe. So with the hips being raised above the heart, this really helps to regulate our immune system, igniting and rejuvenating this area of the lymph. So we're allowing that lymphatic drainage to occur. So if you've got any ailments, any coughs or colds, or you're just feeling a bit run down, this is a wonderful posture. And also if you're overheated, got a lot of heat in the body, it's a wonderful posture. And also moving into the thyroid gland in the throat, this helps to regulate our immunity. So just allow the body to do its thing, allow the breath to nurture and support you. Maybe in through the nose, softly through the mouth, or maybe that Ujjayi breath through the neck might feel good for you today. Just breathe. Imagine the breath like waterfall, cleansing, releasing from the hips, from the heart. Feeling that rising and falling of the belly as you breathe, softening through the shoulders. Softening the heart space, allow it to open and unfurl. Deep fluid inhalation and exhalation. Wonderful, guys. We're going to push through the feet now and turn your block down to its lowest setting, or keeping that firm cushion underneath you will come into waterfall pose. So taking the legs up, this is a wonderful posture if you feel overheated in the body or mind, or you've been on your feet all day, the end of a long day. This helps to cool and calm down the nervous system, moving into our parasympathetic nervous system. You can try a few cooling breaths from here. So I like to do this one in waterfall pose, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth, and then this time as you breathe in, we're going to breathe in through an imaginary straw. So you can create a straw-like effect with your tongue. If this is genetically impossible for you, which it may be, then just bringing the teeth together. So either creating a straw with your tongue or your teeth together as you breathe in, and take a natural breath out through the nose. So breathe in through the mouth, either through your imaginary straw or your teeth, and breathe out through the nose. It's wonderful to practice this posture against the wall at the end of a long day with your hips raised. Really helps you to calm the nervous system, calm the body and mind, and along with this cooling breath can really help you to relax the body, drawing out any heat. When you're ready, guys, slowly bend the knees, feet back down, raise the hips up to release the support, and coming into Shavasana. So maybe if you're tight in the lower back, keeping a rolled up blanket under the knees, taking the arms beside the body. If it feels good for you and you prefer to, you can bring the soles of the feet together and drape the arms overhead. Do what feels right for you today. Use any supports you need to under the hips if you are in a Supta Baddha Konasana position, and come into Shavasana at any time. Just surrender and release the whole body. Closing your eyes, imagine that wave, gentle wave of relaxation flowing from the top of the head down to your toes, and from the toes to the top of the head. You can come into a few golden thread breaths here if you wish to. In through the nose, tiny parting of the lips, allow the breath to pour from the lips like a golden thread of breath. Again, this golden thread breath really aids to support and nourish the body, and also switches the body from doing to being, from the nervous system to the parasympathetic nervous system that helps us to relax and unwind. So it's like a signal to the body that everything's safe, everything's well, everything is relaxed. Supta Baddha Konasana position and want to, you You can slowly bring the hands either side of the thighs, bring the knees together and come down into Shavasana for a final few minutes, resting completely. Ready, taking a few deeper breaths in through the nose, maybe holding for a few moments at the end of the inhalation. Breathe out through the mouth or nose all the way to the space at the end of the exhalation. Hold it there. Deep breath in through the nose, all the way to the end of the inhalation. Hold it there. And breathe it out all the way to the exhalation. Hold it there. Lovely. Placing right hand on your belly, left hand on your heart. Noticing the breath, noticing and imagining that little intention you made at the start of the practice, and imagining it blossoming like a beautiful flower of a tree, beautiful blossom of a tree, or lotus flower in your heart space. Breathe in its energy, its beauty, its fragrance. And when you're ready, wriggling fingers and toes, drape the arms overhead. Take a nice big stretch, rotating wrists and ankles one direction and the other. And then as you bend the knees, bring the hands down towards your sides, press the hands down, and maybe just lift the hips up one more time into a mini bridge. Lower the hips back down and hug the knees in towards the chest. You can hold it here or make a bit of movement if you wish to. Do whatever your body feels like it naturally wants to do. Maybe rocking from side to side, circling the knees, and when you're ready, take the weight over to one side, resting the head upon the hands. Keep your eyes closed. Take a few nourishing breaths, and when you're ready, pushing up through the hands, bring yourself now to a comfortable seated posture. Resting first finger and thumb together maybe once again. Backs of the hands tucked right in towards the hips. Rotate the shoulders away from the ears. Back of the neck long. Just take a few moments here with the eyes closed. Feeling that connection with the earth beneath you once again, those roots that are always there for you, keeping you safe, keeping you secure, reminding you you belong. When you're ready, bring the hands into prayer position. We'll make the chant of Om just once to complete the practice. So when you're ready, together, nice deep breath in. rubbing the palms, feeling nice and warm, placing them over the closed eyes, shoulders down, opening your eyes in darkness when you're ready, and just allow the hands to melt down the face like warm candle wax, opening your eyes in your own time, bringing the hands to the head for positive thoughts, to the mouth for positive words, and to your heart for positive intentions. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Namaste. And thank you for practicing together.